So speaking of cognitive dissonance, many brains have been turned to mush via one process or another, notably cognitive dissonance. The mental journey of reconciling tangible reality with the false reality that has been force-fed to individuals for years on end can result in some, for lack of a better word, fatigue. So people do inevitably need to take a little bit of a break sometimes from social media and take a break from information coming in every 2 seconds, pressing a button and getting your dopamine, playing dopamine rush on your phone. We need to take a break because all the contradictions stack up, we hear so much contradictory information, especially if we don't stay in our echo chamber. If we listen to both sides, we can hear a lot of contradictory information. And sometimes people tend to put the same thoughts through their mental pathways again and again. And if those are irrational thoughts, if they're just biased because their team said it, and their team isn't always right, by the way, that team isn't always right, that team isn't always right, my team isn't always right, your team is not always right. I think most of us know that, but some of you, I feel, need to be reminded. You're a friendly reminder. You're not always right. I'm not always right. In fact, I'm often wrong. And you're often wrong. Because really, this life is a search of discovery. We don't know what's going to happen. The past does not dictate the future. So we have to stay aware. Stay aware. Don't fall into cognitive dissonance. Don't push away ideas too fast that may contradict your confirmation bias. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we only have so long to live to get this right. But the mental journey of reconciling tangible reality with the false reality that has been force-fed to individuals for years on end. So this reality, this mental journey, is when you're so far into your echo chamber, into your confirmation about something, and you may have done a little research, but really you haven't done much on the other side. You're sticking to your guns, which is fine. If it looks good, they say the duck test. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But that's a little bit too simplistic, of course, in a complex world with many different interactions and things going on that are behind the scenes, because we can't mind read. Mind reading is impossible. So many things happen. But the mental journey, it becomes hard to get out of that zone, to get out of your safe space, to let the farts out of your echo chamber door can be an arduous process. And when you see something that contradicts it and people are just swarming to this idea, it's becoming the consensus, but you're stuck in your echo chamber. Like you've older people, in fact, my grandmother is going to go to her grave believing all kinds of ignorant shit. But there's this over here, but you're just, you have so far to go. The further, deeper you are into that cave of thought, maybe it could be, I think, is it Plato's cave? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments section below, Plato's cave. But if you're deep in that cave and you don't know what's going on, you have limited information. And there have been so many contradictions stacked up that you're having trouble getting from fantasy land into tangible reality. And you know what? That journey can bring some fatigue. So people take a break. They take a break. It can knock you out. It can drain your energy, drain your adrenaline. It can really, trying to escape the echo chamber is even harder than getting in the first place, because you're inside the zone. You've gotten all the right ideas. Outside the echo chamber is wrongthink. You don't want wrongthink, do you? So you're there, you got everything figured out, and everybody out there is wrong, they're ignorant, they're dumb, they're evil, until you realize there are two movies on one screen. As Scott Adams says, there are two movies. There are four phases of awareness. And there is something beyond thinking everybody that disagrees with you is stupid, evil, or delusional. And that is that we all look at things two different ways. So to get there, though, is tiring. It is tiring to wade through so many things that contradict. And it's hard. This is why I preach this, because we have seen the impact. I often go on and on about the social justice disciples of the modern religion that is social justice. But these identitarians are relatively harmless. They might be echo chambered. They might not think for themselves. They might have collectivized thought. They might live in the hive mind, as it were. They might be an NPC that just spouts their ideology at you as if it is dogma, as if it is scripture. And I say, well, it's a modern religion, but I am agnostic, or possibly atheistic. I believe in social justice, not the intersectionality, cultural Marxism, social Marxism, or identity politics, or collectivism, as it were. I believe in social justice as in helping the needy, helping everybody that needs help, and not just looking at them by their group, saying that they're individuals and we're going to help everybody regardless of their skin color, their gender, their sex, their occupation, their family ties, their religion. We're not going to judge people that way. We're going to look at them as human beings. We're going to look at them as human beings. But when you perpetuate echo chambers, when you create these small spaces where people can talk, if you kick them out because you say hate speech, which doesn't exist, it's an arbitrary term, you say, get out of here. You're banned, you're deplatformed, you're depersoned, you're debanked. Where do they go? They don't just disappear. In this realm of existence, things just don't disappear. The energy has to go somewhere else, and it goes into a little echo chamber. And those bad ideas, they get reinforced and reinforced, and you create extremists, and you enable psychopaths like these killers in Dayton, in El Paso, Christchurch. The list goes on and on and on. So not only do echo chambers and having to travel, taking that mental journey from tangible into tangible reality, from false reality, even though that can be tiring, it can also be dangerous. Dangerous to have to take that journey in the first place.